This week we talk about what it cost us to build Sherry's grooming van. Our series of videos on building up Sherry's grooming van has brought up questions from some of our viewers. They also showed some of how we put Bessy together. Yes, the van is called Bessy because she's white and a big cow to drive around. This video is where we answer some of those questions and talk about the cost of things and some of what we would have done different after looking back over the years. The truck that became a grooming van started life as a United States Post Office delivery van. When we bought this van, she already had 20 years on her. So 20 years after brand new, the purchase price was about $2,300. Then we had to do the maintenance that hadn't been done for many years. The maintenance and repair costs were another $1,500 for parts and about 30 to 40 hours of my labor in the first year. A trailer would have cost about the same at this point, but we would have had to buy a truck to pull it. Also, Sherry is very nervous about backing up a trailer, but really has no problem with Bessy. Now, there are other recurring costs with a truck like this. For example, California registration for a commercial vehicle is based on the gross vehicle weight rating. In this case, a 1988 van costs us over $450 a year for registration and fees. A less expensive option would have been a Class B or Class C motorhome for several reasons. We'll go into some of those reasons later in this video. The least expensive option for registration costs is a trailer. Also in California, the tow vehicle insurance covers the trailer, so you don't have that issue. The tow vehicle wouldn't need commercial tags also if it was a large SUV, like a Suburban, Excursion. You'll notice we didn't even look at new vehicles. Our goal was to do this project on a cash-only basis. If we didn't have the money for it, we didn't do it. We didn't want any debt to hang over the business from the start. This has allowed Sherry to work at her own pace. She can take as many or as few dogs as she wants, and it doesn't have this debt that has to be paid all the time. This cash-only basis was also possible because I could do all of the maintenance and build-up of the van with a little help from our friends. There are several things that are needed to make any vehicle into a grooming salon. These are things that are necessary, absolutely required. Then there are some of the things that can make the work go faster. These are things that you don't need, but boy, they sure do come in handy. Then there are the things that make the system last longer. As you can see, there are a lot of things to think about when setting up a mobile grooming vehicle. Now, one of the options that we had was to use a Class B or a Class C motorhome. Now, the advantage of using a Class B or Class C motorhome is the plumbing. It's already there. A freshwater tank comes with it. It will have already a gray water tank. It may even have a water heater built in. And it may even have a toilet with black water tank to go with the built-in gray water tank. The plumbing in Bessy was put together based on what I had available. Where I worked at the time, plastic drums were being used daily and they'd just be thrown away after they were used. One of these became the gray water tank, of course after much rinsing and cleaning. The freshwater tank, an unused drum, became our freshwater tank. Now, free does come with a cost. Because these are standard drums, they don't fit under the floor of Bessy like a built-in system in a motorhome. These needed platforms, so I made them from welded steel. The steel, leftovers from other projects, so it didn't have a specific cost. But based on buying used materials, these drums would cost in the range of about $10 to $35 each, and the steel would be around $20. Now, the time to put these together was about 15 hours. For hot water, Sherry uses a warm water fill on the freshwater tank, or she'll bring bottles of hot water with her, depending on how many dogs she has and what the temperatures are. An RV water heater can cost as much as $300 to $400 and more. Plus, you need a propane tank to heat the water and plumbing for the connection, and then a place to put the thing. Although there are cheaper models, they're not built in and require more things to be able to be used in a vehicle. The rest of the plumbing was put together with parts from Home Depot Plumbing Department and Harbor Freight for most of the water pumps. The inverter system was about $1,000 including batteries in 2008. This took about 15 hours to build up, with the exception of the battery box under the van. You see, this was the second location we used for the batteries, and this has worked out much better than our first location, which was all the way in the back. This required about 20 more hours of fabrication to build the box and modify the floor to provide access to the batteries. We added a generator much later. While the inverter provided a lot of the power for the inside of the grooming salon, it didn't provide enough power for the air conditioning unit. So a generator was needed to handle the need where the client didn't have a good power connection. About 10 to 20 hours to set up. The inverter generators are much quieter, but they do cost more for the same wattage. The bathtub was custom built as part of the back wall in the van. This wall separates the wet bay in the back and the grooming area in the middle. The steel and aluminum frame was made mostly from scrap I had around the house, but the cost to buy this would have been about $60 or so. The fiberglass reinforced panels, well, they added another $40 or so, and the hardy backer that I used as the base in the tub was another 20 bucks. The time it took to put it all together was about 20 hours. Now, compare this to a stainless steel tub of this size, and those would cost anywhere from $800 to $1,200 today. The grooming table, well, Sherry found this in the trash, and modifying it took about 15 hours. She actually found this brand new in the trash. Somebody bought it and then they didn't want it anymore. This table from Harbor Freight is about $260, but the tabletop is small. So I added another top to it that I built out of scrap sheet metal that I had, and I added the restraining hoop with hooks to attach it to. Now the air conditioner in the back is a 12,000 BTU unit that was given to us as a gift. When they're on sale, these are around $200 to $300. This is our window unit that you'd fit into a window or put into a wall. We put it into the wall for the wet bay and built ducts to exhaust the hot air out through the side vent of the van. The time to build this into the wall and wire it and put in the ducting was about 10 hours on top of the time to build the wall. Now, a Class C or Class B motorhome might have a roof mount air conditioner already as an option. We also mounted the high velocity dryer on the back side of the wall and ducted it into the grooming area. Now, Sherry's Canine 2 dryer is over 30 years old, but it still works very well. So if you buy something quality, it can last, because the current price on this dryer is around $700. Took about 5 hours to add it in. Now, when we got Bessy, she wasn't really that good looking. Her paint was old, and so that was something we had to do. We repainted Bessy and had stickers added. What we spent on this was about $1,000, but that was just basically materials, because we did the prep, the painting, and stickers, and that was all with help from friends. During this build, I didn't really time myself, so all of the time to build values that I have been giving are estimates, but they should be fairly accurate. I estimate that the total time to build out Bessy was around 200 hours spread over 4 months. What we spent to do this project was between about $7,000 to $8,000 in today's dollars. This doesn't include replacement parts for things that wear out, like tires and brakes. Tires on Bessy, $1,200. So if you're looking at building your own mobile grooming salon, well, you can look at our project and see how we did it, but your costs are going to be different. The big question for anyone looking at a project like this is, how much time versus how much money do you have? Also, the mechanically declined to inclined rating for this entire project is an average of 8 to 10, so it's not an easy project. Although there are many parts that are in the 3 to 4 range, but there are others that are solid 10. Now, you have to remember that grooming is a very wet occupation. You or the dog will spill water on the floor, splash it on the walls, ceiling, and wet fur will find places to collect that you just won't be able to get to. You have to plan for this. Class C and Class B motorhomes are a good option, but they may have issues if they have wood floors or wood frame cabinets. Utility trailers are a good option because of the open floor plan to build it the way you want, but often they're going to have wood floors as well. Camping trailers are also a good option, but the wood structure of many will have issues with all this water. Bessy came to us with aluminum floors, walls, and ceiling. Then there are vans that are already built on the used market that go from about $8,000 to as much as $70,000. But you have to remember that when you look at these, you're looking for your specific needs, the height of things, how you want things arranged. So you would be modifying any of these to meet your standards. So this was our experience in building up Sherry's grooming van. If you'd like to see the rest of the videos on how we built Bessy, check out the playlist and leave a comment below with any questions you have on this particular video.
Thanks for watching our video. If you like what you see, press the like button below and subscribe. And also check out our other videos.